What the hell?
Oh.
I got a moth. Check yourself, bro.
Wow, Noah's boxing over there.
Calm down then. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Boom! Tell your friends. Oh. Sorry.
Did you get it?
Oh, I got it.
Welcome back to the Podracer podcast.
I'm Noah, and that is Jordan.
And man, oh man, it feels good to be back home. I'm so glad to be back on set.
You are not in a hotel room anymore.
I'm not in a hotel room.
Let's go.
It's so good to be home. How are you, Noah? How was your week? Weekly rewind. We're just gonna jump into it.
My week has been all right. It's been just focusing on a whole bunch of sports because there ain't no better baseball than playoff baseball, and it's all about the Mets, baby. All about the Mets. Let's go Mets.
No, I think this is the first time, I've actually, I haven't watched a game, but I've been following the games on social media a little bit. And it makes me want to get back into baseball.
Gosh, you are missing out because baseball right now is hot. The Dodgers.
Yeah.
F the Dodgers. I hate LA so much. But, man, they have a pretty decent team. But I just want the New York Yankees versus the New York Mets in the World Series this year so bad, and the Yankees are doing good. The Mets are doing pretty good. I want that showdown so bad, dude.
That'd be kind of awesome.
It's going to be great. But then, I'm also getting hyped for basketball season coming up. Let's go, Sac.
Yep.
Light the beam, baby. And then, football's great. I mean, I had almost a heart attack watching the Niners go against Seattle. They were doing pretty good. Then Seattle's doing pretty good. And then, they just, had to just put the nail in the coffin on Seattle and bang, bang, Niner game. We on top. And
yeah, that game was scary for a little bit.
Little bit. Shit my pants a tad, but hey, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. We're going back. We're good.
The Bears spanked the Jaguars in London.
Oh,
it was such a fun game to watch.
A lot of teams this week got spanked. Like the Steelers destroyed the Raiders. The Lions destroyed the Cowboys. It was a crazy week for football.
Yes, dude, I watched that. I watched that Lions game. Did you see Aiden Hutchinson break his leg?
I did not, but I saw the replay of it. I didn't watch it live, but I saw what happened. That is brutal.
Oh my god. His leg was bent in half. It was so bad. No, but it was touchdown city this week.
Yeah,
it was such a fun week for football.
Yeah, it was.
No, I think I'm rooting for the Mets though. From what I've seen on social media, I'm also a big Dylan O'Brien fan. He's a fan of the Mets, so I guess I'm a Mets fan. All right, well, anyways, let's get back to the nerd shit.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah, no, my week was good. I've just been in a movie mode lately.
I know.
After my homework assignment last episode with Truman Show and Logan and all that good stuff. I've just been having a blast with movies, and there's a bunch of movies that came out that we're actually going to be reviewing this episode.
Yes, ma'am. And I do have homework for you, but we'll get to that at the end of the episode.
Oh, I got some homework today. Okay.
You always get homework.
Okay. You didn't give me homework last week, so.
Well, because you just got done with an assignment, so I wasn't gonna give you
That's
one
fair.
Immediately, but yeah.
Our homework was kind of to go to the movie theaters and watch these movies.
Yes, it was a
collective.
collective homework. Yes.
Fair. No, 2024's got a good slate of movies coming up, and this week we had, I would say, a pretty banger slate for some movies that opened. Actually, they opened last week, but
yeah,
we're a little behind.
This past week, this month, whatever you want to call it, we've watched them, and now let's talk about them, because.
Yeah, I'm ready to just jump into these because I've been itching to talk to you about these, and I like to save our initial reactions and things for the pod. But what do you want to start with? You want to start with Wild Robot?
Let's start with Wild Robot, dude.
Okay. Holy shit! First of all,
DreamWorks is back. DreamWorks is back.
Oh yeah.
How they go from Boss Baby to this is absolutely wild to me. Yes, Puss in Boots was really good, but
Puss in Boots was good. The Last Wish.
You can't have an absolute dropper like Kung Fu Panda 11 or whatever they're on now, and then put out Wild Robot and come on, dude. It was So good.
This was not my bingo card for 2024. This
Absolutely
is crazy.
not, dude. Because this is like probably the biggest like DreamWorks project that like can compete with like a Pixar movie, you know?
Oh,
And
yeah.
it makes sense
No,
because
this one's up there.
the director of this movie, I think he also did Lilo and Stitch, and he also did like
Oh.
another one. I mean, like it was all collaborative, but like this was like a solo one that he totally did, and man, he nailed it.
Wow. Okay, let's get into our review. Let's rate it out of 10.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little non-spoilers, and then we might get into some spoilers. But The Wild Robot out of 10.
Out of 10.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
8.
10 out of 10.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Jordan sees a movie, it's a 10.
No. I really, because I know I just watched Logan for the first time, and I gave that a 10 out of 10. And you called me out for recency bias.
It's heavy.
Which may have been in effect, but I really, and Jasenia can vouch for me, I really sat there after this movie and was like trying to find something I did not like about this movie to make it a 9 or 8 out of 10.
Sure.
I genuinely loved this story.
Yep.
I loved the performances from the voice actors. I loved the animation. The only thing I could see as a flaw in my mind for this movie was that it started a little slow and I didn't have any idea where it was going. I went into this movie completely blind. I had not seen a single trailer for it. I had not heard anything about it other than the fact that this is a must-see movie and it's like blowing people out of the water. So I went into this movie completely blind, no idea what it's about. All I could gather was that there's a robot and that I knew Pedro Pascal was the fox. That's all I knew. And so going into this, like, watching the beginning sequence of the movie, like, I genuinely, like, just didn't understand what the direction of the movie was.
Right.
But honestly, that was kind of a positive for me.
Okay.
Because, like, once you start to see it play out, like, it was such a just, like, fun, like, okay, let's kind of figure this out type of beginning to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I could see where you would definitely think of, like, see it like that, where, like, because you go in, especially with you who has totally given up trailers, when you go into something completely blind and it's, like, as good as Wild Robot was, I'm not surprised that you gave it a 10. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, yeah, Jordan, like, probably absolutely loves this. And you did text me as soon as you saw it saying just, wow.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you said, so I'm like, well, it's already a 10 in her book. The only reason why I give it an 8 is because, one, the villain at the end, I feel like I didn't really, like, care about, so I didn't really feel like it was a good enough villain, because we only saw them at the very end, and it was really quick. And yes, as good as the ending sequences were, it just felt a little rushed because they had such a slow start, and they had, like, a pretty, like, the middle of the movie is probably my favorite of the movie. Like when you see like her son, I'm gonna just say that, the duck or goose or whatever, like learning like all that training and like kind of just seeing like the motherhood take over of nature. Like I see that and like that is really good. But and then you just get the villain just like that, just because there needs to be a villain. This needs to happen, and it needs to happen right now.
That's fair.
That just felt a little rushed to me. But I still thought it was really good. And I guess the only other thing is I really liked the Goose character in the beginning a lot. And then, like, kind of as the rest of the movie went on, I just kind of cared less because it just wasn't.
That's fair.
It just couldn't compete with. I'm blanking on the robot's name. It started with an R. I know that.
Roz.
Roz, thank you. And then, of course, when Pedro Pascal's Fox character comes in, like, he just kind of steals it, and it's so good.
Yeah, so for this movie, just quick spoiler warning, kind of spoiler, kind of not. So if you haven't seen The Wild Robot, skip to the next chapter if you're on the YouTube video. If you're on the audio,
sucks.
Sorry, just fast forward a
Thanks
couple
for
minutes.
listening, by the way. If you're on Spotify, iTunes, you know.
Thanks
appreciate
for listening.
You guys.
But
come watch it on YouTube. It's fun. It's fun here.
No, but this robot like takes on like its task it takes on is being a mother and raising this goose and getting it basically, like training it essentially to migrate for the winter to survive, and when we flash forward to like when his name's Bright Bill is older, the flight montage
Fire.
of when she's training him to like be able to fly and like increase his endurance and like do all these things. That entire montage, I started crying. The tears were rolling. And that's like what, in the middle of the movie? It's in the maybe like yeah, it's probably like
it's like an hour or so in. It's not even. It's like maybe like 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Like there's still a good chunk of movie left after that montage. Noah, I don't think I stopped crying after that montage.
Gosh, dude.
I just like sobbed through this entire movie.
I'm telling you guys, Jordan cries in so many movies, and I telling
really do.
you, I don't think we can watch like a solid movie without her tearing up in some shape or form.
No, I always cry in a movie unless it's a bad movie. Or unless it's like a movie where it's just not emotionally.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
No, but yeah, this movie, which I think also contributes to my 10 out of 10, is just how emotionally impactful this movie was. This story was incredible. The animation was beautiful. I loved the colors in this. Good. And then just that, like, family dynamic of, like, this robot becoming a mother to this orphaned goose. And then she befriends this fox who kind of becomes the father figure of this goose.
It's crazy because, like, they balanced how, like, all the animals did not like her at all at first. And then, like, they slowly, like, turned and, like, she kind of, like, became one of them. And I think they balanced that very well instead of just all the animals just liking her immediately, which happens in a whole bunch of movies. But, like, they really just did, like, technology meets nature meets motherhood just meets family kind of deal. I think they did that spectacularly well. And I heard that, like, the book that this movie is based off of is, like, really good as well. And I think there's a couple books. I don't really know. But I know that the director, like, wanted to stay true to, like, that, like, kind of story. And I think he hit it out of the park. I think it was really good.
This movie,
it's definitely up. It's going to be nominated next year for Anime Movie of the Year, and it's probably going to win.
100%. No, arguably, for sure, I would say this is probably the best animated movie of 2024. And I would argue, mind you, I haven't seen a lot of the movies in 2024, but I would say this is probably the best movie to come of 2024 so far, in my opinion.
Okay.
But I haven't seen Dune. I know that's out of the park.
Man, Dune
so
is good.
I know there's some good ones that I haven't seen, so I can't necessarily fairly judge that but I would claim it to be the best movie of 2024. It's phenomenal.
You need to see Dune
Go
Part
see
2.
The Wild Robot.
You need to see Dune.
I know I do.
Gosh, you need to see Dune Part 2.
I need to see Dune Part 1 first, but
yeah. But we're not talking about Dune. We're talking about Wild Robot. If you haven't seen it, people, go see it. It's so good.
Go watch it.
It's so good. You're not going to...
Go to the movie theater and watch this movie. This, like, you need to see this on the big screen before it leaves the theater, but if you miss it, just watch it. DreamWorks is back. I mean, this is... we need more movies like this.
Yeah. Let's go on to the next one, which I'm excited to talk about because, man, this movie sucked.
Yeah.
We are talking about Joker 2. Like, Folie Deux.
Joker, Folie à Deux.
I loved the first Joker so much. Saw it with my friend Aaliyah. Shout out. Fan of the show.
Love you, Aaliyah.
So when I was going into the second one, I was like, please just let it be something close to as good as the first one. Just a little bit. And man, it wasn't.
Let's give this one a rank out of 10 really quick, and we'll get into it.
Okay.
Go ahead. Call it off.
3, 2, 1, 3.
3 out of 10, yeah. That's what I gave it to. This was bad. I agree with you. I liked the first Joker a lot. You know my opinion on DC movies, right?
Your favorite.
Like oversaturated with just too many different versions of different things. I remember when the first Joker was coming out. No, that's not the first. I was gonna. So we have Heath Ledger Joker. We have, is it Jared Leto?
Yep.
Is that who the other one is?
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. And then now we have, oh man, what's his name?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, now we have Joaquin Phoenix.
And now
it's just
in
like
Matt Reeves' The Batman, there's a Joker. His
Right.
name's Barry something. I don't know. He's dating Sabrina Carpenter.
Right, I completely forgot about that. It's just so much.
It's a lot of Jokers. The Jokerverse is running wild right now.
It's just crazy. And like, I remember when the first Joker came out, it was a good movie.
Very good movie.
I was pissed because of how just dumb DC does their movies. But like, this as its own thing was very good. It was a very good just Joker movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I remember when they announced that they were doing a sequel, I'm like, okay, whatever. The first one was good.
And then it got announced it was going to be a musical.
Exactly. It got announced it's going to be a musical.
It wasn't even a musical.
It was just bad
They did
singing.
the same song 4 different times. And each time they did it, it served zero purpose. They sang just to sing. We get it. Lady Gaga could sing. She doesn't need to be Harley Quinn or whatever they call her in the movie. I don't care.
Yeah, it was just bad.
Terrible.
Like when they announced it was a musical, I didn't know what to expect. I like musicals. I don't necessarily think I want my superhero movies to be musicals. Like this was just it was like odd. And then I kind of was like, okay, let me give it a chance. The first one was good. If anyone's going to do a musical, like any character, I think Joker would have been a fun character to do a musical for. But then it just like it was weird because same song over and over, and no offense, but he can't really sing.
No. And you have Lady Gaga in there with him, so like he can't hold a candle to her.
Some of her singing was bad too, and I don't know if that was on purpose or not.
I just think that the song that they chose to sing just was not a song that Lady Gaga like should even be singing.
It just wasn't good.
It just felt so dry.
Yeah.
And I mean that in like the most harsh way possible.
It just felt like a fever dream too, though. Like
yeah.
Like there was really no progression in this story at all.
No, like why are we going through the whole movie talking about just everything that happened in the past movie? And then we don't move on. It's
literally just Joker's lawyer trying to, make him plead the insanity, plea and essentially play on like him having dual personalities, and we're just kind of going through the motions with that, and then we get into the courthouse, and you know what? Spoiler alert for Joker. We're gonna get into spoilers. He fires his lawyer to now play into the Joker side of it,
defend himself,
because he's more just trying to you know what? Let me lean into Joker. Harley's manipulating him into leaning into Joker, and
which it shouldn't be that way. Harley doesn't manipulate Joker. Joker manipulates Harley to do everything bad for him, and it would have made so much sense if Joker has to be in the courthouse, so it makes sense if he were to send Harley to go do terrible things, so it could kind of distract his whole entire case. But no, Harley's manipulating him and just sitting there looking dumb. It's like, oh, look, I got the things on my eyes. I'm Harley. Ha ha, here, let me sing. Like, no. No,
but then it was weird too, because the entire time, he learns that she lied and she didn't grow up in the same neighborhood and her father didn't abuse her. She came from a rich family. And she literally checked herself into the asylum to get close to Joker, which I think that's crazy that she was able to just check herself in, and then they were able to interact like that.
She probably just used daddy's money to get in there, which as corrupt Gotham always is, I guess that makes sense.
Which, right.
But like
Arkham is corrupt, Gotham is corrupt, but yeah, it was just, and then the whole time we're like, you see Arthur kind of like conflicted in like fighting within himself, like trying to figure out, is she lying to me or is she serious? And then it kind of just goes nowhere, because then, big spoiler, he's sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
And they essentially sexually assault Joker out of him, which was really weird.
It was probably the dumbest. Like, we don't like now. Now we're getting sympathy for Joker.
Yeah,
now
it was
we're supposed
really
to
odd.
feel like. I don't understand the direction that.
Yeah, I didn't know where it was going.
Exactly.
Like, it was just,
and then next thing you know, bigger spoiler, he dies.
right, by supposedly the real Joker, which then really pisses me off, because then it makes me feel like every single thing was for nothing.
And it makes no damn sense. And gosh, this movie sucked.
Yeah, this entire movie was just had zero like real structure. Like, the story went in so many different directions and didn't like complete any of the paths it went down.
Which we saw the same thing of Joker in the first Joker movie. Like, we see like things happening, like how he's seeing it, like, you know, how he had like a girlfriend and everything. We saw like that kind of go somewhere. And then when we see that it was not at all what happened, it was all in his head, like it at least like closed it and kind of came around, and it showed just how mentally insane that he was. And then you just have like so many of like the other events of like especially like when he's in Arkham at the end of the first Joker, and you see him like staring at the clock, and you notice that the time never moved from the beginning. Now it's kind of like, oh, is all in his head, because like Joker's really an untrustworthy narrator of his story. So I thought that's what they were going to be playing when they just showed so much different stuff in this movie, and then it just ends and like, oh, now all that was literally for nothing. Like, really?
Yeah, it's just really bad.
God, it was
like
bad.
Literally the only reason that this is a 3 out of 10 and not a 4 or not a 0 out of 10 is because Joaquin Phoenix, he plays that mentally ill, just insanity really well. That is the only reason that this movie is not legit a 0 to 1 out of 10.
It sucks because he earned an Oscar for playing Joker. So you would you would be like, okay, there's really, if there's someone that understands the character, would be the guy who won an Oscar for it, because the only other person that has won an Oscar for playing the Joker was Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, yeah.
So like, if there's anyone that really understands that character, it's him. And obviously like he perfected it, but like I feel like you could kind of tell that like he didn't even want to do it.
It just makes me so sad, because Joker is one of the most iconic villains in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know why we keep doing him dirty like this.
If you're going to do the story of an older Joker inspiring the next, throw Mark Hamill in there. Have him be an older Joker or something like that. Like, you can do it. Because he's the only man that I would actually want to hear as Joker at this point.
Oh, classic. Anyways, terrible movie.
Terrible.
I don't recommend you seeing this, but...
No, you can skip it. It's fine. All right, Sutton. Now we got a fun movie to talk about now.
We do. Final movie.
Let's talk about Transformers 1.
Oh, so good, dude.
Killer movie.
So good.
Before we talk into it, though,
yes.
let's rate it.
Let's rate it.
Let's give it a score. Let's score it. Okay? So, Transformers 1 official rating. I'll count us down. You ready?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. 9 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Okay. That's high. That's good. What's the face for? What's the face?
Should be higher. At least an 8.5, you know.
I thought about giving this a 9. My only reason for giving it an 8 is I don't have a very deep background with Transformers. So this is kind of my first involvement with Transformers, but it's made me really excited for it. And the other part is there are some very slow spots, a lot of exposition. A
Sure.
lot of like kiddie parts, in my opinion. Which this is a animated kids movie. Like they gotta play to that a little bit.
Nah, it's made for me. It's made for us.
The other part of it too is it did have some very adult moments. Like it had some maturity to it. So it very could flex to a 9. I'm gonna give it an 8 right now. I think I'd want to give it a rewatch before I bumped it up. But wow, this movie. I mean, just the performances were incredible. Chris Hemsworth knocked this out of the park as Optimus Prime.
Amen on that. And like you saw him like transition from like this rebellious guy that just was going against Sentinel and everything that Cybertron was, and like how he was leaning against it kind of, and you saw that Megatron was like really for it.
Yeah.
And then you saw like in the movie like they really switched for the good and for the bad. But then you also can tell like in Chris Hemsworth's voice, not doing his Australian accent, which is crazy.
Weird. It was weird at some parts.
Killer good.
Very good.
But we see him kind of like talk as just like kind of like a teen, whatever. And then you see like his voice like get deeper. Spoiler, when he gets his the
Cog.
What do they call it? Like a cog? I was gonna say cork for some reason. They both it looks similar. Whatever. When he gets the cog in and really gets to transform and all that, like you see like his voice just get deeper into like the Optimus Prime that we know. And that's the same thing with Brian Tyree Henry, where we see him as Megatron just transition into Megatron. And like you see him kind of go how he was like obviously like for everything, and like how he was like, no, Sentinel is a hero of us. And when he learns that everything like he knows has been a lie, and everything that he's lived and wants to, you know, be like a good citizen to Cybertron, to them being like, nah, they lied to us. I'm gonna kill him, and I'm gonna rule Cybertron the way that we should.
You really just went into spoilers. Spoiler warning, everybody. Wow.
Just see the movie, man.
Yeah,
it's,
no.
God, but like I gotta say, I kind of agree with Megatron.
Oh, you're Team Megatron.
Oh yeah, the Decepticons are so better.
Part of what he was saying in this movie was kind of justified. I really liked what you just said about how they kind of flip places, because at the beginning of the movie, we see kind of their friendship, right? And you have Optimus Prime, who is like just this really cocky, chaotic, doesn't want to follow the rules, very selfish, kind of wants to do his own thing. He wants to be the hero, wants to get the glory, all that good stuff. And you have Megatron over here as the like responsible, stick to protocol, just kind of along for the ride, like more responsible character. And then when they ultimately find out that Sentinel like destroyed the Primes and is actually this bad
Spoiler,
guy.
Jordan, goodness.
We're already in spoilers, which that was kind of obvious from the start, right?
I immediately called it when like Sentinel was like being like, I don't know why.
As soon as we meet him, I'm like, this guy's secretly evil.
The first thing I thought of when I saw Sentinel, I'm like, that's Homelander. That is Homelander. He is the Homelander. And sure enough, that's good. Come on, man. And then like he tried to bring Optimus and Megatron to join his team.
Yeah, no.
He wanted them to join the 7.
Yeah. Wow.
Come on now. Tell me it's not the boys, because it is.
That's a good comparison. That's good.
I love it. Sentinel was such a Homelander, and I think he fit the role perfectly.
He did.
I thought it was so good.
He did. No, and it was very obvious he was going to be the villain from the go, but that's fine.
And when you saw, another spoiler, big spoiler, I guess, when you see Megatron go and kill Sentinel, and he grows the giant scope on his arm, that's literally identical to his old Transformer toy from the 80s. I flipped.
That's fun.
Flipped even harder when I found out that Keegan-Michael Key is Bumblebee, which I didn't know.
He was so good in this movie.
I didn't even know. Good old badassatron. Like, he was awesome.
His character was so fun.
Jordan Peele to be in the next one so bad. so I can have Key and Peele as Transformers.
That'd be awesome.
We already got them as Bunny and Ducky in Transformers 4. Wow. Toy Story 4. I need them again. I need them to just improv and steal the show.
Yeah, he could easily be one of the Autobots in the next movie, which I feel like this movie perfectly set up for a sequel, and I think they could easily make this this could easily compete for one of the greatest trilogies if they do it right and they keep the story as good as this first one. This is incredible.
I think they can. I think that they easily can. And I think that they obviously will with the post-credit scene, literally setting up the Decepticons, which another thing I loved was seeing how Megatron got, at first he got the bumper sticker of the Decepticon logo because it was one of his favorite primes.
But he's a fan.
And then we see him get it scored and burned on him.
Which that was a very crazy scene.
And then when he got the bigger cog and got to just grow it on him.
Literally got Megatron's cog, yeah.
That's dude, that is what starts the Decepticons, and that is why that logo's there, Right. And we haven't seen the Autobot one yet, so maybe that's what we can get in the second one. And I think, just saying, it could link to Michael Bay's Transformers.
It could.
I'd like to see it. We can see them battle for Cybertron, and then the Allspark, which they kind of had in this movie, but they didn't call it that. But if they find the Allspark is what can transform Cybertron into what the Decepticons want Cybertron to be, we can see how that can kind of. I just really want the Michael Bay style Megatron in animation form because it just looks so great to me.
They could evolve. I just want that.
They could easily evolve. They're robots.
I mean, they did in this movie. They were just little robots or Autobots, whatever you want to call them. And then once they got the cogs, they kind of transform. And then when Optimus Prime and Megatron, they get their essentially upgraded Prime cogs, they get even bigger. So there's potential.
There's potential.
No, I'm holding
out hope.
I love that you brought up the Michael Bay ones because Jasenia, my wife, has a lot of nostalgia with these movies. And we literally came out of this movie, and on the car ride home, we're just talking about how good it was, how fun it was. And we were both looking at each other, and we're like, do you want to just go home and watch more Transformers? And we were like, yes. And so we got home, we literally ate dinner, and immediately turned on the first Michael Bay one. And it was just so much fun. It was so fun. It was the first time I watched it.
So good.
It's the first time I watched that movie since I was 8 years old. So
really,
it was a lot of fun to come back to it, and I'm here for Transformers. I'm ready to binge watch all the Michael Bay ones. I'm ready for this next one to come out. I'm here for it. I love it.
Oh yeah, love it.
Movies are back, man. I've had so much fun with these new movies. Even as bad as Joker was, it's still just fun to be getting new movies.
1,000%. And we got some potential more bangers that are coming out at the end of this year.
We do.
Let's talk about them. That's a good segue, I guess. Because we got this little thing going on where we have a fun tier list. Not a tier list on grading how good they are or all this stuff. It's our own custom tier list, and we're just basing it on our excitement for these upcoming films that are going to be coming out this year. I assume that maybe one or two of them might get delayed. We'll get to that.
It happens.
Which does happen, especially since we only have 2.5 more months of 2024. So, yeah. Let's
so essentially, we compiled this list. There's 20 movies that are still slated to come out in 2024. So we're going to do a little tier list of these movies just based on anticipation and our excitement to watch them.
Let me get this honorable mention out the way.
Okay.
Good old Saturday night.
Yes.
Kind of, as we're filming this, just premiered. And it's all about the very first taping of Saturday Night Live. I can't even say taping, but the very first episode of Saturday Night Live.
It's the hour and a half before the first.
It's the 90 minutes leading to what would become the very first episode of Saturday Night Live. And as a big fan of Saturday Night Live, and literally almost tons of my favorite actors are all usually SNL alums, come together like that to kind of see like how they were and how they kind of acted before then, and then get to see like recreations of like all the skits that were in the very first one. It looks so good, so intense, so hilariously funny, and it looks so good, and I cannot wait to see it. More
looks
likely I'm
fun.
going to be seeing it tomorrow because I'm so hyped for it, and it looks so good.
we can. I want to see it too, so we can definitely review that on the pod in the coming episodes.
Yeah. Okay, but then I got one more last honorable mention, then we'll get to the tier list. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
And it's The Apprentice. It's Sebastian Stan playing a young Donald Trump.
I have not heard of this movie.
Dude, when the set photos got released of Sebastian Stan, full hairdo, suit, looking like a legit young Donald Trump, it's eye-canny, dude. It is so hilariously accurate.
This has come out already?
I believe so, yeah. It's either premiering today or it's like premiering like in a... I'm not too entirely sure, but I literally saw something that's already showing, so I assume that it's out. But I know we do not discuss politics here.
No.
So I know Donald Trump right now is probably not a good thing to talk about to some people. I get it. I hear it. So we're not going to go in it. But I just imagine Sebastian Stan as Donald Trump. I can't think of... I have to think of Donald Trump as Winter Soldier now.
Stop.
You know? Like...
No, we're moving on. We're going to get into the tier list.
Captain America.
No, you're done.
He is my best friend.
You're done.
Great guy. Even amazing guy.
Oh, God.
Who the hell is Bucky? I don't know that guy.
Oh,
never heard of him.
Are you done? Awful. Just no.
I want to keep going. I kind of want to keep going.
No, we are getting
The Thunderbolts is going to be the best team, the greatest team even.
Jesus Christ.
I'm teaming up with Black Widow's sister, not a real sister, but you know.
Okay, you're done.
We'll take it.
You're done. Jeez. All right, most anticipated movies of 2024 tier list. Here we go. Coming out 18 October, we're going to start off with a movie called Anora. I have not heard anything about this. It's apparently a stripper in New York falls for a client who is a son of a Russian oligarch, whatever that means.
Oligarchy?
It just said oligarch.
It's a rich family.
All
very
right.
wealthy, very dangerous.
I
know that the actress that's
opinion?
in it was also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't know if you saw that movie.
No.
But, of course not. But she was killer in that movie. And I heard that this is going to be like a kind of a comedy action movie kind of deal. But also like a love story. I don't know. I saw the trailer just a little bit ago. Okay. It looks cool. And a lot of people are hyping it up. So I might see it if it comes to like Netflix or something. But
yeah, I've just literally seen nothing about this movie.
Same.
I think I want to put it in the no opinion slot.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm down.
Okay.
I'm down for that because I'm kind of in the same boat. Like if I see that a lot of people are really liking it, or if a clip comes out like in the past, like in the next like few weeks after the movie comes out, and a lot of people are talking about it, then yeah, sure, I'll go see it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a word of mouth thing. Like, see how
I agree.
How good it is. Another one coming out 18 October is Smile 2, which is the horror sequel. I'm not a big horror fan.
I really like horror movies.
I like
really do.
like thrilling horror type. I don't like the demented, demonic, whatever you want to classify it as, like the paranormal. I don't love that.
Sure.
And I think this is along those lines. So I don't want this movie. I also haven't seen the first one, so I really, again, don't have an opinion. Wherever you want to throw this one, I'm good with that.
I'm going to throw it in no opinion because I didn't like the first Smile movie, so I didn't know why that there needs to be another one. I thought the Smile movie looked really stupid, and then when I watched it, I was right. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it, but sometimes when a movie comes out that's not really that great, but it's like a horror type movie, so like they can usually get sequels pretty easily. Usually the second one tends to be better, but you know. No
Fair.
opinion.
Next up, also coming out the 18th of October, is We Live in Time. This one is being super marketed right now. It is Andrew Garfield, Florence Pugh. It's essentially a romantic drama that just follows them building their life together, and it's supposed to span over a decade or a couple decades or something like that. Yeah. I know as a woman, I definitely fit the stereotype of the romantic movies. I love them. So for me, I want to put this in very excited, need it now.
I'm gonna put it in very excited because I'm a huge fan of Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Right. He's a great actor.
Man. Great Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, actor too, yeah. And then Florence Pugh is such a solid actress. Yeah. Like almost every movie she's in, she kills. Midsummer is one of my favorite like messed up mind horror movies.
I've seen it.
Gotta see it.
Okay.
And she is just amazing in that, and that's like what really made me like a fan of hers. Yeah. And then like seeing her like obviously in Marvel and like also kill in that role too. Yeah. So I'm excited to see.
No, all the press
Spider-Man in this movie.
All the press they've done has like it's
hilarious.
It's great. It's funny.
Hilarious.
Their chemistry is incredible.
It's really good.
I just can't wait to see this movie just for them too. Not even the fact that it is a romance or anything like that. Like I think this is probably going to be great cast, great performances, and I'm very excited for this movie. Next up, we got Conclave. So this one comes out the 25th of October. It is a psychological thriller about Vatican cardinal in charge of organizing the successor to the deceased pope. This one seems interesting. I like psychological thrillers. Jesus.
Thrillers. Yeah, especially with this one.
Yeah.
There's definitely two things that we do not talk about on this podcast, and it is religion and politics. Yes. I can say that I am not a Catholic, so I do not know how the choosing of the Pope works. I know how like they do get the cardinals together and they do choose a Pope from there. So the fact that they're taking like this idea of the deceased Pope, was he killed? Was it an inside job? Was he just old and he just rotted over? Who knows? But then like, could his killer or be the person that's behind his death be a cardinal, and like how will that affect choosing the next Pope? And I feel like that's such an interesting idea.
Right.
And I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, no, I think intrigued is perfect spot for it. All right, next up, we got Venom: The Last Dance, 25th October as well. This one's coming out. This is the final installment of the trilogy.
Thank God.
Where do you want to put this one?
I'm going to put it at don't want. I
don't want it
the
either.
First Venom movie, and I was so hyped at the end of the second one when he went to the MCU, because I thought that the next Venom movie, because we all knew that there was going to be 3, that the next Venom movie will be in the MCU, kind of like how Deadpool is.
Right.
But nope, then they decided to just not do that because Sony likes to make Spider-Man movies that don't have Spider-Man in it, but can do everything about Spider-Man. And Sony, stop making Spider-Man or villains of Spider-Man movies.
Sony is very similar. Like, my hatred for Sony is very similar to my hatred for the DC universe. Like, it's just oversaturated.
I'm
just making stuff I don't even want. Like, I don't want this.
Yep. I don't think Sony, like the only good Sony, I guess, Spider-Man-esque movie that they've done was like the Into the Spider-Verse movies and like those.
That's it.
Because Morbius sucked. Madam Web sucked.
Awful.
That's one of the worst superhero movies ever made.
No, that movie is literally only fun for the memes. Like, it's terrible.
It's like, it's such a bad movie. It's funny.
Yes.
Because when I watched it, I was like, this movie is terrible. Mm-hmm. Why is this movie so bad? Like, they didn't even try.
No.
It's like, Sony, I know you can make a good movie. I know you can.
Yeah.
So
it's awful.
Why? Oh, God, it was awful. Awful. The worst.
Agreed. Don't want it. Next up.
Do not want it.
Next up, we got Here, starring Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, the good old Forrest Gump reunion. Yep.
Yep.
This focuses on a single spot of land and follows generation of life spanning centuries. This one I am actually very excited about. I would even put it in Need It Now. I know it is overhyped a little bit. I love the casting.
Very.
Tom Hanks, Robin Wright. I believe the same guy that directed Forrest Gump is directing this, right?
Good old Bob Zemeckis himself.
Which
good old Robert
Forrest
Zemeckis
Gump
is coming back.
Yeah, that's an iconic
Robert Zemeckis
movie.
he did Forrest Gump. He did Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is just like, again, it's a new kind of fresh idea, which is exactly what I want out of movies. I think this has potential to be an incredible piece of cinema. Where would you put this? Because I'm obviously putting this high.
Intrigued,
really? You're not even excited a little bit?
The idea is really cool, but the fact that you got Robin Wright and Tom Hanks, I love Forrest Gump too much, so I know that it's going to take it out of me, and I've seen the trailer for it, and it kind of just, I feel like it told the whole story already.
That's fair.
I don't know. Like, I bet I can, like, tell you what happens in the movie and not even see it.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
But, we'll see. I'm intrigued by it, but...
can we meet in the middle and put it in excited? Come on.
Asterisk over very excited, because I'm not.
That's fair.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Fair. Okay. Next up, coming out the 8th of November, we got Heretic. This is an A24 thriller about a man who traps a couple of young missionaries who have the awful luck of knocking on his door. Mm-hmm. You just talked about A24 movies last episode.
I did. And I told you to go watch some. And I know that you obviously didn't or haven't.
I just had other movies on the list to watch.
There's a lot on them. My goodness, you're going to be watching movies till you're 90.
That's fine.
But
just like Wolverine. Till I'm 90.
Watching movies that she's probably already should have seen like decades ago. But it's
100%.
fine. It's fine. Look, A24 is a great studio. I'm actually a really big fan of Hugh Grant. I think he's a really good actor and really funny. But he's kind of been typecasted a lot for just a lot of these like romance movies. So to see him like in an actual like
thriller
kind of thriller type movie, I think that's gonna be really good. And that's one thing I've told you that A24 films do so good, is that they just get really big actors to play these different parts that you just would not see them in.
Right.
Again, I will bring it back up. Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. You do not see Adam Sandler playing that role at all. But man, he plays it good. And such a good movie.
Yeah.
Literally the last like 20, 30 minutes of that movie, you are on the edge of your seat. Go watch it. So I'll put intrigued.
Intrigued? Okay.
Yeah. The idea of it looks interesting. But I'm just a fanboy for A24 films. So usually any time that they have a movie come out, I'm always down to see it.
Fair. Yeah. No, I love it. All right, next up, we got Red One. This one also comes out 8 November. This is the this looks kind of funny. This is the head of North Pole Security, who is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Teams up with a bounty hunter.
Is cooking.
He teams up with a bounty hunter who is Chris Evans.
Captain America.
Not the Donald Trump thing again. So the head of North Pole Security teams up with a bounty hunter. Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans team up to save Santa Claus, which is J.K. Simmons, after he was kidnapped. Little weird this one's coming out in November and not December.
You also forgot to mention good old Lucy Liu herself is going to be like this like in charge of like the agency kind of.
You're
Lucy
right,
Liu
my
is
fault.
Amazing. Kill Bill. She kills it. As my fault. So like this movie looks so stupid.
It looks like stupid fun.
So stupid. But man, it's going to be hilarious. The giant freaking the giant snowman that's in it, the giant polar bear that's in it. Come on. If he's not voiced by John Cena, I'm going to be upset.
I'm surprised. Like this feels like a movie John Cena would be in. 100%.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. It feels like a movie Ryan Reynolds would be in.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now.
I feel like
Ryan Reynolds and or Kevin Hart is going to make a cameo in this movie.
Oh, yeah. I feel like this movie, like, it's got a good upfront cast. I feel like it could have a sneaky side cast as well.
And
we'll see.
Like, it's made by Netflix, so, like, or at least a studio that Netflix owns. So you know that they're going to get some dumb cameos. I'm probably going to see it when it comes on Netflix and actually watch it in December when it should be coming out.
Which it's weird it's coming out the 8th of November. That's what I saw.
Probably because they're going to want to put it on Netflix in December.
Probably.
That's
Makes
what they're
sense.
going to do. But
that's fair.
Where
do we want to put this one?
Why is J.K. Simmons like buff as hell as Santa Claus? Why is he absolutely freaking yoked for no reason?
For some reason, they don't want to make Santa Claus fat in movies anymore. I don't know. It's weird.
I love it because J.K. looks great at his age. Hey,
fair.
If I was Peter Parker and he's telling me to get pictures of Spider-Man, I'm getting him pictures of Spider-Man. I'm not gonna say anything else. You want it, you got it, man. He's gonna beat the crap out of me.
Right.
I'm very excited for this movie. I'm kind
of very excited as well.
It looks.
I like it.
Oh gosh, The Rock is like honestly like his movies now has just been him playing the same person, so I get that a lot of people are saying it's just another Rock movie being The Rock. But like I'm such a sucker for like those type of stupid silly movies now.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It gets me excited.
No, it should be fun. I'm excited as well.
Man.
All right. Next up, coming out the 22nd of November, we got Gladiator 2. So this is the direct sequel to Gladiator, reportedly revolving around Lucius, who is the emperor. What, you need it now?
Need it now.
I'll give it to you.
Need it now.
I know you hype up Gladiator a lot. I still need to watch it, but you know I haven't seen that movie.
Gladiator
it's not a surprise.
Is one of the top tier movies of all time.
Seriously?
Oh gosh, it's so good.
Huh.
It's so good.
Okay. When did it come out?
I don't know. But look, it is one of those type of movies where like no one thought that it needs a sequel. But when I'm seeing like the trailers for it, I am so hyped. So hyped.
Okay.
And like, yeah, it has Denzel, it has Pedro Pascal, it has Joseph Quinn in it. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not interested in like the cast. I'm really interested in the story and like how they're going to go along with it. And it really looks like they're just doing the first Gladiator so much justice. And it looks so good. It looks like visually, it's made today and Gladiator was made in the 90s. So like
the first one came out in 2000. I just looked it up.
2000. How about that?
Yeah.
I thought it was late 90s. I thought it was 98 for some reason. But 2000, crazy.
2000.
So I know that the visual effects are going to be killer now. So
100%.
I know that it just looks so good.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just know that they're going to just do this next one justice with it. They're going to. They have so much that they can just like build off on because that's how just great Gladiator was. It's not going to be as good as Gladiator 1. Obviously not. But I'm very, very excited for this movie and I want it now. I've been wanting to watch it since like I saw the first like teaser for it and I really wanted it in summer because I think that would have been an amazing summer blockbuster movie.
Yeah.
Missed
That's
opportunity
fair.
there.
It's okay. Yeah. No, we'll give it to you. Need it now. There it is.
Need it now.
All right. Next up, we got Wicked coming out the 22nd of November. This is part 1 of a 2-film adaptation of the Broadway musical. And it's starring Cynthia, I'm going to say this wrong, Erivo as Elphaba and Ariana Grande as Glinda. Is it just me or has this movie been marketed way too much? I feel like I've seen it everywhere. Everywhere. For months. I would say I'm intrigued about this movie just because I like the backstory behind Ariana Grande's passion for this musical. Like, I don't know if you've seen those interviews before. But with how, like, much this is being shoved down my throat, I kind of just don't want it anymore. You're giving me a very blank stare. What you feeling? What you thinking?
You know the saying, if you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all?
Okay. So you don't want it either.
Nope.
All right. I'm down.
Nope. I think this movie looks stupid. I don't think Ariana Grande is that good of an actress.
No.
I do not like her music. So the
like
fact
her
that I have to watch a top musical like Wicked and see it possibly get destroyed, which more than likely it will be, it looks really, really, really stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of musicals. Well established that.
Yeah.
But this one did not need to be made into a musical.
You mean a movie?
I don't think I don't think this movie needed to be made at all, period.
Fair.
And the fact that they're going to drag us out into 2 parts means that it's just going to be a waste of time for everybody.
Yeah, I was very shocked when I saw that. It doesn't need to be 2 parts. You can one and done this easily. I've never seen Wicked, but I know it's remarked as one of the greatest musicals of all time.
It's up there. It's up there.
In The Wizard of Oz.
But I know this
classic.
one's going to just suck. Because I'm sorry for anyone that cares. But I just don't like Ariana Grande at all.
That's fair. She's not my favorite, but I don't hate her.
I don't like her. I don't really care for her. So, like, now she's going to be ruining a great musical. That sucks.
That's fair.
I don't want it. I'm not going to watch it. And, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Don't want it. Good.
Nope.
Moving on. Moana 2 comes out 27th of November.
Oh,
obviously,
my gosh.
sequel to Moana. Where are we feeling? I'm actually pretty excited, I think.
I kind of don't want it.
Really?
Lin-Manuel Miranda is not going to come back to do the music.
Actually, that's fair. You make a good point.
So, it's not going to be up to par as the first Moana. The first Moana didn't give anything that signified that there needed to be a sequel.
Yeah.
And
actually, you're changing my mind.
As much as I love The Rock as Maui, I felt like his character arc in the first one was perfect. So, what is this even about? Just them...
You're changing my mind.
It looks like the same movie, just with more people involved now, instead of just her and the chicken and Maui.
Well, now instead of, like, restoring the island because he took the heart at Te they're just going to go find another island. Like, essentially is what it is.
I don't understand the point of it at all.
You're actually changing my mind. Moana is a pretty great movie, start to finish, great music. And you're right, he's not coming back to do the music for the second one.
Yep.
You might be right. I think this is probably a cash grab. It's going to, children are going to like this. I don't think it's going to be good for adults. You're right.
Nope.
Next up, we got Queer, which comes out 27th November. This is Daniel Craig and Drew Starkey, which is the Outer Banks guy, I think. And a romantic drama about a man on the run from New Orleans who explores city nightlife and becomes infatuated with a Navy serviceman. This one has me intrigued.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for a good romance.
Sure.
Daniel Craig is an incredible actor.
Oh, 1,000%. I love Daniel Craig.
I love everything he's in. And Drew Starkey is like this new up and coming like actor who's supposed to be like, from what I've seen, he really immerses himself in his roles. I think this could be a very interesting movie. And I think it's going to be something different that we'll be seeing from Daniel Craig. I feel like this is not his typical type of role he plays.
I mean, he's been doing a lot of like random roles recently, so
yeah.
I guess
I don't know. What do you think about it?
I mean, I saw the trailer and like I literally have like no opinion on it.
Okay.
Like, if someone tells me that's really good, I might see it, but I don't have an opinion on it right now.
All right. I'm intrigued. I'll go see it. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I think I'm more of a sucker for the romantic dramas than you are. So
More likely, yes.
I'm going to throw it in intrigued if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
Next up, we got Kraven the Hunter coming out 13th December. This is another Sony Spider-Man villain movie.
Look.
Same thing? Don't want it?
It's
I
probably
don't
not
want
going to
it.
be that good. But I really like the character Kraven a lot.
Fair.
So I'm interested to see how it's going to be portrayed on the big screen. And I really just want to know, like, if Kraven the Hunter is not hunting Spider-Man, who is he hunting?
Yeah.
And we haven't really seen much of this movie yet, so it hasn't really been told who he's hunting. If it's literally just like his origin story in Romania, and then like the end of it, he lands in New York, then cool, I guess. So I'm sort of intrigued, but I also don't have an opinion because I don't really know what they're going to even do with it. Yeah. Until I see like better trailers or at least better announcements of what this movie's going to be, then I'll probably, want it. But I really like Kraven the Hunter a lot as a villain, especially in Spider-Man 2, the video game that came out. I thought that Kraven was awesome.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm intrigued, kind of, but I also don't have an opinion. So, throw it wherever.
We'll put it in no opinion just because there's not a lot of info on it yet.
Sure. That sounds right.
I did see a rumor on Twitter, which who knows how reliable this is, but
Twitter's a cult.
The idea is maybe
Twitter's a cult.
This could bring back Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is the idea, which if that's the case, that's a different story.
Look,
I think if we can get a Sony villain like this with Spider-Man, there you go. I'm excited.
I don't know, man, because we all thought the same thing with Venom.
Right, and that's where
and Venom's a bigger villain of Spider-Man than anybody.
100%.
So
100%, but hopefully they maybe learn from their mistakes and give us what we actually want. I don't know. Look, I like it in no
just
opinion.
What we've been gathering from all this Sony-verse bullshit.
Yes.
At the end of No Way Home,
they did just come out with Madam Web. Jesus.
At the end, we don't talk about Madam Web. Madam Web is garbage, dumpster fire, should have never been made. Is the worst movie that has come out. Anyone who likes Madam Web, delete my number. Dude, I'm serious. That is such a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Look, what we've gathered so far, Venom wants to see Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. We saw Morbius before the freaking Vulture had to fizz away. He wanted to see Spider-Man. Now we see Kraven, and if he sees competition of hunting down a spider, that could build to something. Will it be in the movie? Probably not. Post-credit scene? More than likely, because that's what they've all done.
Yeah.
So who knows?
I think if this is just a Kraven origin story and we get nowhere close to Spider-Man, I think I would mark it as a disappointment. Like, give us some Spidey content.
And Aaron Taylor Johnson's a great actor. Mm-hmm. Again, bringing up Bullet Train again. Top tier. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. 100%.
We'll see.
We'll see. Next up, we got Nickel Boys coming out 13 December.
We got Nickelback?
Nickel Boys.
Oh. Well, now I don't want it.
I could be intrigued by this.
I'm intrigued only because when I saw the trailer, it's all POV.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I like movies like that.
Okay.
Well, some movies that have come out like that kind of suck. So, like, I'm interested how they're going to play it like this.
Yeah.
So, I'm intrigued.
No, agreed. Next up, we got The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim? I'm probably saying that wrong. This is an animated prequel, follows the exploits of Helm Hammerhead, King of Rohan. I don't want it. I'm kind of done with Lord of the Rings. I was done with The Lord of the Rings when they did the Hobbit movies. I just, leave it be. We don't need extra stuff. That's my opinion.
Oh, I liked The Hobbit. I thought The Hobbit was really good.
I don't think The Hobbit needed to be a 3-part movie, but I liked the first one.
No, it shouldn't have been 3. It could have been 2 at the most, but...
The fact that the shortest book was adapted into 3 different movies, I don't like that. It's
crazy.
Too much.
Yeah.
It's just too much. It's one giant story spread out way too thin, in my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah, what even is the Amazon show called? The Ring of Power. Not good. Don't want it. I don't want an animated prequel. I don't want this one. You good with that?
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Next up, we got The Brutalist. This is a historical drama about a Hungarian Jewish architect who survives the Holocaust and emigrates with his wife to the U.S. I'm intrigued.
The trailer for it looks really interesting, too.
Yeah, I haven't seen...
and it's a short film, too.
Okay.
So, it's
very good.
Not supposed to be that long. So I know that they're probably going to dump a lot or do some, I don't know if they're going to do, time jumps, but I'm really interested in it, especially when I found out that it's a short film.
I like that.
I didn't
know that.
It's it's more likely going to be a very short story, but they're going to cover a lot.
Yeah. No, I feel like this has the potential to be a very emotionally impacting movie, and I like those kind of movies.
It has the chance to. It's a short film, so I know a lot of people might just see it just to see it.
Yeah.
But I'm especially when I saw that at the Cannes Film Festival that it did really good. That really sparks my interest.
Okay, yeah. No, I like it. Next up, we got Mufasa, the Lion King. This is live action prequel.
Don't want it.
I don't want it.
Don't want it.
We've talked about this movie before.
Yep. Don't want it.
Stop the live action Disney crap. We don't want it.
Yep.
Next up, we got Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Keanu Reeves.
Want to try that again?
Did I say it wrong? Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
You stumbled on. You said Sanjik or something.
Did
like
I?
that.
Shit.
Yeah, that's what I heard at least. I don't know if you lagged on my ear or something like
rewind. that. Rewind. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 coming out 20 December.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd installment of the Sonic franchise, introducing Shadow the Hedgehog. Wow.
Yeah.
Voiced by Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
So you're excited.
I'm very excited for it.
Shocker, I haven't seen any of these Sonic movies. I know. But I played the games growing up, and Shadow was always my favorite, and Keanu Reeves is amazing. So this definitely makes me want to watch the other in preparation to watch this one. Are you excited? Is that where
Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, dog?
I know. I just remember when the first one came out and the CGI was awful. I had no interest in watching it.
Yeah, so literally, us, the fans that wanted a Sonic movie, saw the first trailer and was like, this is ugly as hell. This is not Sonic. Do better. They did better, and it was great. Sonic 2 came out with Knuckles, Idris Elba as Knuckles, by the way. Tails is even in it, and it's just as good.
Okay.
So this third one's going to be a banger.
All right.
Banger. And Jim Carrey steals every single scene he's in.
Fair.
In all these Sonic movies, too. He's hilarious.
Yeah. No,
God, he's so funny. And a lot of the action scenes that happen are so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay. Fair.
Oh.
So very excited. Yeah?
Very excited, yes.
I'd say I'm intrigued, but I feel like if I were to watch the other ones, I'd be very excited.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. You're going to watch the first one and be like, what have I been doing?
All right, I'll get on that. Next up, we got Nosferatu. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Nosferatu. 25 December is when that's coming out. It's basically a remake of the 1922 vampire film, and it should follow a similar plot.
Mm-hmm.
Nosferatu
is a really good classic horror movie too. So I'm very excited to see how this one's gonna really come out because Nosferatu kind of has a really creepy story, but it's really good too.
I literally know nothing about Nosferatu, and I've already mentioned I'm not a big horror person, so I have no opinion on this. Wherever you want to put it, I'm down to put it there.
I'm intrigued on it.
Okay.
I don't think it was one of those that needed to happen, but it's happening, so I'll more likely go see it.
Okay. No, I think if the 1922 one was good and they can follow a similar plot but just updated, I think that has potential of being one of a good horror movie. All right, and the final movie coming out in 2024 is called A Complete Unknown. This comes out 25 December. It's Timothy Chalamet as 19-year-old Bob Dylan and his beginnings following into his success. This essentially sounds like Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man Part 3. Like, they're doing these, adaptations of, like...
Biopics.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Biopics of these iconic people. I have no opinion. I really liked the Bohemian Rhapsody one. I never got around to watching the Elton John one. And I don't really know a lot of Bob Dylan's songs, so I just don't have an opinion on it. All right, so where do you want to put this movie? I mean, I don't really want it. No opinion. I'm kind of over these biopics.
There was a Bob Dylan biopic that came out a couple years ago. I'm blanking. Cate Blanchett, she played Hella. And she did a really good job. Like, I know she got a lot of guff for it. Timothy Chalamet does not look anything like Bob Dylan. So, like, I feel like it's just Timothy just is getting put in another movie. So, I guess whatever.
Yeah, I don't love him either. Like,
he's great in Dune, but like I saw him in Wonka and I wasn't really liking it. And it's supposed to be like Gene Wilder Wonka, and I didn't see it, So
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have an opinion, but I also don't want it either. I also know that he's getting a lot of hate for doing this movie. So a lot of people don't want him as Bob Dylan, nor another Bob Dylan biopic.
Yeah, can he sing?
I don't know. I don't think he can. So I wouldn't be surprised if they get someone else that sounds more like Bob Dylan.
Like dubbing it? Yeah. I'm going to put it don't want it then, because
I'll put it there too.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Cool.
All right. Well, that's the tier list of movies coming out 2024. We got some good ones. We got some who care ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely watch some of these as they come out, review some of them on the pod.
Yeah. Some of them.
Some of them we might not review.
It's all good. Yeah. I definitely can't wait to see what will happen in Venom 3. That's, oh gosh. Venom and Craven is just one of those movies like I want to see because I want to just see how bad they turn out kind of deal.
Right.
So,
yeah, no, I'll definitely go see those, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you told me earlier you got some homework for me, which I've just been itching to know.
Look, I don't want to give you another double movie, but with this one, like I recently rewatched them.
Oh God.
And I'm like, man, I hate that Jordan hasn't seen these movies. It's the Rocky movies.
That's so many movies.
I know it's a lot. I just want you to watch the first two.
Okay. How many are there?
Not including Creed, there's 6.
Yeah, 6. Wow.
Just every time I see it, man, I just get so hyped and I love it. It's so good. The music is phenomenal.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
All right.
Oh gosh.
Rocky 1, Rocky 2 will 100% be watched before we film next episode. And I'm definitely
so happy to hear that.
I definitely have all of these on my watch list. I've seen the Creed movies. I really enjoyed them. And I've always wanted to watch Rocky. It's just something I never got around to. Something I wasn't introduced to as a young kid. But it's something I have on my list, and I want to eventually watch all of them. So I'll just start that this week. I got you.
It's one of the best underdog stories ever told.
Yeah. No, Sylvester Stallone, he's amazing too.
The Italian stallion against the master of disaster, Apollo Creed. Ooh, super fight 1 and 2. Sorry, not to spoil anything because it's not, but.
I got you.
Woo!
Homework will be done.
Yeah.